So I want you to take every course, every training, just take it out of your mind for a second. I'm not here to sell you. What I want you to buy into in this moment is you and your vision, because it doesn't matter, and we have clients at every single level, whether you're a solo salon with 50 clients a month or you're a solo salon with a few people to help and you're at 100 clients a month. That doesn't matter. The most critical thing that's going to matter is what you think right now. And the biggest problem with building a scalable lead system when you're behind the chair full time is in your mind. Now, I'm not going to do the whole mindset stuff, but this is really important because I see this with all of my clients. If you are the business, you are also the bottleneck. So whenever the hidden struggle comes internally, when I'm going to talk to you about lead systems and all of that good stuff, I want you to think I'm a Fortune 500 company and I need to run my business and to also think like one, okay? Because that's going to help you go from more effort to actual getting you the system that you need to actually scale. And the reality of it is, for most salon owners, you don't need more effort. You need a system. So today I'm going to talk to you all about systems, and I want you to remember, you're a Fortune 500 company, so we have to think like one now. So let's go ahead and just talk the biggest shift that you'll need to make when you come from having a vision of getting out from behind the chair. That first thing is, everyone, Instagram, TikTok, and all these courses, they are going to sell you something to try to get you to beat an algorithm. But that is actually the wrong mindset to have, because unless you have their direct lifestyle, unless you're going to commit to creating content, like literally as it's your job, then you do not have the same setup for success as they do on that platform. So it's very critical to gauge, is this the kind of business owner that I want to be? Do I want to be a business owner that has to create content 24/7 in order for them to survive? And 9 times out of 10, this video is not going to be geared towards that salon owner. The salon owners that we serve are people that actually want lives, that want to do something outside of content creation, but that absolutely enjoy being in the hair industry. And so we are going to be helping you understand that the goal is not to beat an algorithm by doing more. It's actually by understanding algorithms and the way that every algorithm is, and then picking one that's going to give you the highest ROI. Not the highest engagement, not the highest dopamine effect, the highest return on investment. So in your mind, you want to think, did this algorithm really make me money? And the reality of it is, Instagram prioritizes saves, shares, carousels, and reels. And that type of content is going to burn you out. Why? Because it disappears. Pretty much. It's not evergreen. So when a algorithm prioritizes non-evergreen content, you have to keep pumping it out. And that's when it becomes to feel like a job and not like, oh, I'm just, showing my favorite thing to do to the world. It becomes a job. And I don't know about you, but I know you're already wearing accountant, stylist, and all of that good stuff. So you can't really get another job. It's not feasible. Okay. So number 2, Facebook. The Facebook algorithm really boosts native posts. So you can repurpose your content from Instagram to Facebook like people try to sell you. But the reality of it is, algorithms are extremely intelligent. They know when you've actually recorded for that platform because you hit record, which is why that option is there, or when you simply uploaded a video. And they are going to prioritize native post, so meaning did you really post it just for Facebook? Because they know people crave personalization. So take a minute. Instagram, Facebook, these are two platforms that when you post, it disappears, so it will feel like a 9-to-5 job. Now, if we transition into TikTok, which is even crazier, you have to live on TikTok to be successful. Anybody that sells you a course is going to sell you that content on repeat, okay? So all of these algorithms are not designed for the regular business owner. Now there is, and I'll get to this later, there is a really creative way to maximize those platforms, which I actually learned from a client that has launched like she's launched like 3 different businesses, which is really, really cool. But she has a different way of doing it. And that is probably the best way. And we'll talk about that later. But I want you to understand, if a platform is not evergreen, then you do not want to be focusing your efforts on that platform. You just mathematically really cannot compete. Okay, I'm being honest with you. Now, when we transition to Google, I want you to ask all of your salon friends, how many clients do they get from just Google? People say, oh, I found you on Google, right? I found you on Instagram. Some people will say that. But if you look at 99% of businesses, some of them have social media, some of them don't. But everybody has a Google business profile. Why do they have that? Because that is the way people come to their shop to spend money with them. So the reason why Google is so powerful is because, number one, the content that you create for Google is not necessarily fully evergreen, but I want you to remember this keyword, ROI, so return on your investment, and conversions, which is what we're going to talk about in this next section. So back to that word, conversions. This is the key point that's going to help you hone in on systems that build your business like the Fortune 500 company that you are. You do not need to be everywhere. You need to be where conversions happen, okay? So what that means is you don't need to be on everybody's platform. You need to be on the platform that is designed to give you your return on investment, whether that be your time, your attention, and also your resources. Okay? So with that being said, the second mind shift that you need to have is shifting from vanity to value. So you need to focus on what really matters. Likes, unfortunately, they don't pay the bills. Comments do not always equal into clients unless you have a serious following. So the 3 things that you need to focus on are a platform that gives you clicks, bookings, calls, and conversions, because you will not have enough time, especially when you're transitioning from behind the chair, to be a full-time content creator. Do not set yourself up for failure in that way. Matter of fact, a few of our large clients from barbershops that are already franchised, none of the owners are behind a camera 24/7 unless they're launching something else. But absolutely, I have no business owner that has a full salon full of people, a barbershop where they have employees that are on social media, right? Because they've learned that if it does not bring me conversions, if it does not bring me clicks, if it does not bring me clients, then I really don't need to invest a lot of time on that platform. I need to be where I can actually focus on conversions, and everything else is vanity. Okay, now I'm making you guys like marketing geniuses right now, so stick with me, okay? Because the next point that I want to talk about is extremely important. Desensitized consumers are now going to shut off pretty much everything that doesn't bring them instant value. So you want to transition from posting everywhere, once again, to strategic marketing, okay? Because your potential clients are seeing thousands of posts every single week, and they are checked out. Okay, so you're not just competing with other stylists on other platforms, you're competing with every brand, ad, viral dance, trend, TikTok, cat, dog, mom content, that's for me, out there. So what you need to always be thinking is strategic marketing. What am I going to put out in the world that's going to give me the highest ROI for my time? So when you look at a platform like TikTok, IG, and then Reels and these other platforms, these platforms function and thrive off of engagement because they want you to stay on these platforms because that's how they can charge higher for ads. You always want to remember that because you are an intelligent Fortune 500 company. So if a platform prides themselves on engagement, they are not interested in the consumer's end result. They are only interested with the time that is spent on that platform. So it's a constant feeding. And if you're a business owner where you're already working 8-10 hours a day, you're not going to have that time and those resources to constantly feed that algorithm, right? Which is why you can post and like, oh, I posted this amazing content and I only got like 2 likes. Because it wasn't designed to give you business. Now, when you want to think about conversion-driven platforms, there's only a few, but I will tell you them right now. Number 1 is Google, because when you go to Amazon, when you go to these platforms, you are looking to buy something. You're looking to do something, right? You're not looking to be entertained. You are looking for something, which is, as a side note, extremely important for you as a small business owner to understand, not to guess, but to understand how people are finding you when they are ready to buy. That is of the utmost importance because it is like the GPS to your location. Okay, if you don't know it, then you don't know how people are finding you, and whatever you don't track, you can't grow. Okay, so Google, number 1, Google Maps, number 2. SMS marketing is actually really good because you're right there, you're on the phone with that person. Email marketing, that's kind of being disrupted, but it's still really, really important. YouTube, that is actually a really good platform. Now, I caution you with YouTube because on the back end, and this is giving you more understanding how algorithms work, is YouTube, you have to really own a keyword. So you still have to create a lot of content in order for you to be the dominant force on that topic. So YouTube is a good platform, but I would say it's it's near the bottom, right? The highest conversion platforms are just where people go to find you whenever they want to find any other restaurant and any other service-based business. Google Maps. Okay? And the last but not least, obviously your booking page. That's really important. Okay? So you want to use content not for engagement, not for likes. You want to use it as a smoke signal to your client. So you want to use it as reach on a platform where your clients are actually looking to purchase. And there is really no other platform other than Google Maps and Google. Okay? Once you're maximizing on that platform, you can use that to drive conversions, to book clients, to grow your list, and to build trust. And one of the final points that I really want to hone in is AI content does not always equal conversions. Now, I know we are so enthralled with what ChatGPT and Gemini and all of these things can create. But the reality of it is, once again, people are desensitized. So if they see a full platform of you in AI generated content, they're going to think, why are they not showing me the real thing? So what I always coach my salon owners on, especially when it comes to marketing, is if you can take the short route, so can a million other people. That is not what people want. We are in the age of hyper-personalization. So that means that everyone is becoming their own personal algorithm. And the human touch is still number one. So whenever you're creating content, please, for the love of all things you, do not do yourself a disservice and post thousands or hundreds or even tens of AI-generated content. Post content that feels like you, that looks like you, that sounds like you, even if you're using AI. So what that means is there's a right way to use AI and there's a wrong way to use AI. And the right way to use AI is to use it to amplify your voice. Number one, you have to train it, okay? GPT or chat, however people want to call it, needs to sound like you, needs to feel like you. Okay, that's the most important thing with AI generated content. And when it comes to your photos, you want to always think, once again, conversions. If you are a killer stylist, you need to be showing that off 24/7. And you need to be doing it on a platform that maximizes conversions. Okay, so that's one of the biggest final points that I'll make about that. So all in all, now that you are a Fortune 500 salon owner, you want to think, I don't want to be a content creator, okay? I don't want to be an influencer. All of those things can happen, but you are a business owner. So the goal isn't to go viral. It's to stay booked, it's to stay blessed, and all of that good stuff. So you don't need to dance on TikTok, post 4 times a day, or even go live. Remember, you need a lead system that has a leverage and that works even when you're not with a client. And the cool thing is, we have something to actually offer you. See, the platform that we actually use and we market on for all of our salons is Google Maps. And remember what I was telling you, you want to train the AI? Well, we do that for you. So if you're interested in learning more about how we can help you bridge that gap and getting you from behind the chair and all the case studies, then comment and reach out to us, because I'll show you. I'll even invite you to a webinar so you can see everything that we do, and then you choose if you want to work with us. But the cool thing is, at least you have the information in order to move you from behind the chair to that Fortune 500 company that we all know that you can be. All right, sayonara. Till next time.